Greetings everyone, Jonathan here from Plagiarism, and today I want to talk about CBS CNet, Dish Network, Hopper, the DVR they have, FilmOn, and a bunch of other stuff, all around the theme of what does it mean to stand up and fight. Because there's a belief, and I kind of share it myself, that you can tell a lot about a person by when and where they choose to fight, where they draw the line in the sand, and where they say no more. And if that's the case, we've learned a lot about CBS in this past month, and I don't know how good it is. Let's start with what happened earlier this month at CES, the Consumer Electronics Show. Basically, CNet, a company that's owned by CBS under their interactive group, went to CES, as you would expect them to do, and they determined after an editorial vote that Dish Network's Hopper DVR was the best in show. Hopper DVR being a DVR that records shows and automatically skips commercials. Well, CBS, as a television network, wasn't too thrilled about this. They were already engaged in litigation with Dish Network over Hopper. That case is ongoing, and it's a big tangled mess unto itself. But long story short, CBS kind of reached out to the editors of CNet and forced them to remove Hopper from contention. So Hopper went from being best in show at CES to being not even in the list. Long story short. Well, fast forward to what happened yesterday. Part of an ongoing case, this one's been going on for a while too, CBS has filed a motion with the court defending its right and its ability to continue to distribute Bittorrent software, especially Bittorrent client software, on CNet's download.com service. Now, this case, I don't want to delve into it too deep because it's actually a very bizarre, maybe I should do a whole separate video on it, but it's a very bizarre case that centers around the guy who ran FilmOn that CBS sued and got an injunction against. And now this FilmOn guy is turned around and he's suing CBS, saying that they were encouraging piracy through download.com and enabling it and LimeWire and blah, 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 blah. It's a really, really big, broad mess. But it does kind of point to an interesting dichotomy here. CBS nudges its editors and prevents coverage of Dish Network's Hopper, but is fighting tooth and nail here to be able to continue to distribute Bittorrent client software. Now, CBS released a statement basically saying that they believe that Hopper is illegal and they are going to block all coverage of what they believe is legal, but anything that is legal, Godspeed, go right ahead. But here's the problem. Hopper has not been ruled to be illegal, and in fact, the court case of it seems to be largely going Dish Network's way. It's early to tell, but it seems like Dish Network's been scoring some key victories here. So we don't have a ruling on whether or not Hopper is illegal or legal, and therefore the only person making that judgment is CBS. And that's a pretty awkward position because when it comes to media coverage, they're kind of playing judge, jury, and executioner. And that's unfortunate because it really puts them in a very conflicted situation. Now, I understand not wanting to do coverage of products and companies that you are in active litigation with, but a company as large as CBS is in active litigation with God knows how many. It's probably dozens, if not hundreds. You couldn't possibly avoid that. So the best thing you can do is highlight it, be honest, be transparent about it, and move on. But CBS chose not to do that. It chose to interfere with the coverage because of that Greg Sandoval quit CNet, one of my favorite authors there. And it's a big tangled mess. It's really hurt CNet and CBS's reputation and the perception of independence there. So, yeah. All I'm saying, though, is that it seems to me like CBS is saying, we're only going to cover services we deem to be illegal, not necessarily just services that the courts deem to be illegal. Otherwise, they probably would have held off a little bit longer on the blocking of the Hopper coverage. Just something to think about here when you're considering CBS's role in all this. On that note, everyone, thank you very much for joining me. Until tomorrow, this is Jonathan Bailey, signing off.